Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 4th of February, 2021. I hope everyone is healthy and safe in this environment in which we live in 2021. I hope your needs are being met. I also ask for double blessings on those in the healthcare field who are risking their lives to save the lives of others in this COVID environment in which we live, as well as those that pick up garbage with disease all over it to keep our places clean, as well as those that deliver food and other goods and necessities that we need from on dangerous roads, and more even double blessing on those that are out here trying to save children from the hands of sex traders. Greetings to all of you and blessings on those. So, there was a basketball game last night. The New York Knicks played their second game against the Chicago Bulls, and they got the win. And I'm glad they got the win. But I want to tell you, I'm concerned. I'm still feeling, they got the win, and I'm feeling happy, but it's feeling bittersweet, I'll be honest with you. And the reason is because I can see the possibilities of the Knicks totally outperforming everybody's expectations as far as media, Vegas, all that. I can see they have the personnel and the talent and the style to do that. But I'm also seeing some red flags that are concerning. Okay. Last night, let's talk about last night's game. So last night's game, the Knicks shot 50% from 3-point land. Most of that was due to the fact that all-star level play of Julius Randle hitting five 3-pointers. Julius hit 5 3-pointers. That's tremendous. I mean, and if you look at his career, he has never come close to shooting like that. Okay. So he has tremendously improved on the defensive end. He was outstanding last night. What can you say? He's an all-star. They need to just make it happen. Hit that button for your boy on the All-Star NBA.com and get this boy in the All-Star game. Okay, that's number one. So they were 50% from three. They didn't shoot good free throws. 67% from the line. They need to do better. We, of course, as we do in most wins, we out-rebounded Chicago 57-44. One of my concerning areas is the assist area. Chicago had 30 assists against us on Monday. Last night, they had 25. We only had 19 last night. We won the game still. Okay. We had 17 turnovers. I'm not as concerned about that right now. Again, you seem to play better when we're a little looser. And even when we have a lot of turnovers, problem is we don't want to have the turnovers at key points, but that's another story. They beat us up in points in the paint, 62-50. So of course we held them to 17% from three. We held them 17% shooting from three. So it was vastly improved, perimeter defense for Monday. And I have to say, one of my concerns, now we know that Monday's game was the second part of a back-to-back. They had just won, or they had just lost to the Clippers in the Garden on Sunday. Then they went to Chicago and of course lost to Chicago. And they did look sluggish, and they were a step slow, especially on the perimeter. And I was very concerned about that. Last night, they seemed to back to their normal self as far as guarding the perimeter. They were a step quicker. Problem is, in the next 8 days, brethren, we got 2 more back-to-backs. Okay? They're going to play in the next 8 days. I think they're playing, how many games? They're playing 6 or 7 games. And 2 of those sets are back-to-back, including this weekend. They got a back-to-back at the Garden. The first one's against Portland. And I'm not sure who the second one, but they play back-to-back. And then about a week later, they play at the end of that next week, a week from tomorrow, they play another back-to-back. Okay, Washington at Washington, and then there's a home game. So I'm a little concerned about the second parts of back-to-backs with this team. I don't know if it's, just fatigue or whatever. Obviously, fatigue is involved. But and that brings me to my third problem. We already knew. Okay, so I'm coming to certain conclusions. Thibodeau is who he is. And I did say that. I mean, earlier in the summer, we were talking about him, people talking about how much he's going to change, blah, blah, blah. And I told you, a leopard, that Ethiopian can't change his skin and a leopard can't change his spots. It is what it is. He's going to do what he does. And true to form, he's doing what he does. He's running a 10-man rotation. He basically admitted it, even though he keeps saying, anything could change. No, nothing's changed. He runs the same 10-man rotation every game. That's it. Okay? Unless somebody's hurt, and then he's going to bring somebody in that's hardly played, and that's going to be a problem because the person's hardly played, whoever it is. And that, so that's what he runs, a 10-man rotation. We know he plays everybody heavy minutes, especially the starters. He plays heavy minutes to the starters, and then this is true to form for Tibbs going back to Chicago. He played like last night. Randall's played 38, Bullock 27, Robinson 28, Payton 35, Barrett 32, then Nerlens Noel 20, Burks 19, Rivers 18, Toppin 10. So, and then of course, and quickly 13. So we can see he generally plays the veterans a lot of minutes. He plays the rookies few minutes. Here's IQ playing 13 minutes last night. 13. Toppin playing 10. I'm concerned about that, but it's not like we didn't know that he does this. This is not surprising to us. Okay. So one conclusion that's concerning to me is Elfrid Payton is going to be our starting point guard for the whole season. He is not going to give the keys to IQ this year. He's not going to do it. Okay. So I'm resigned to that fact and I don't like it, but it is what it is. He's not going to give the keys to IQ. IQ is going to come off the bench the rest of the season. Okay. And some people have been commenting about, I don't see IQ as a playmaker. I don't know what you're watching. The boy could play make. The reason he doesn't get more assists is because he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much as other people. Like for example, Randle. Randle's got the ball in his hands more than IQ in every offensive set. Okay. What IQ does is because he's going one-on-one. Okay. So he doesn't, like last night, he only took 7 shots. Okay. So if you gave him the keys and let him run the team, you'd see a lot more assists. He can run the point. No question. To me, I don't know what anybody else is looking at, but he could run the point and he could shoot. And it's killing me because all these Knicks fans were asking for some attacking point guard that can shoot. Well, you got one. I don't know what people talking about. He can't run. He can do it. Okay. There he is. IQ. All right. So, so that's number problem. I'm concerned with IQ. I'm concerned with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is not like your typical rookie coming in here at 19 or 18 or 20 even, where you could just give him 4 years to develop. This cat's going to be 23 next month. Okay. He's going to be in his prime before his rookie year is up, before his rookie contract is up. Okay. He's going to be approaching his prime when his rookie contract is up. So you want to get this guy in as much as possible, and he's just not getting the time, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Tibbs is not going to give him more than what he's getting right now. And what I can see is the 10, 15 minutes at the most that he's going to get is not enough time for him to feel comfortable enough to get the lather up that he needs to play his best. It's just not enough time. So his rookie year is going to be frustrating for him and for us. If you're expecting a lot from Obi Toppin, not going to happen. Okay. He's just not. IQ, because he has the ball in his hand, he could put up more shots, and he does, and he needs to. But anyway, he's not going to get the keys this year. Elfrid Payton's going to be a starting point guard, and that's a problem. The problem is, of course, Payton is up and down. I mean, very much up and down. Whenever it is, I know myself, and I'm not the only one that was howling for him to come out the starting lineup after Monday's game. All of a sudden today, last night's game, he gets 20 points. He shoots 19 times. Okay. He doesn't do that. If he did that every game, we wouldn't even be discussing this stuff, right? But he doesn't. All of a sudden you'll get another game where he takes 4 shots, hits 1 or something. Okay. So he's very inconsistent, both offensively and defensively. Inconsistent. And he's a veteran. But Thibodeau has put the stamp of approval on him. I mean, he basically shrugged it off when anybody talking about any competition. So he's going to be the starting point guard. Okay. That alone is going to limit how far we're going to go this year. That's going to limit us right there. Okay. So that's concern number 1. So concern number 2, concern number 1, I'm concerned with Obi Toppin, and I'm concerned with Emmanuel quickly in their development. I'm concerned with keeping Elfrid Payton in the starting lineup. I'm concerned with Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox. I'm concerned with Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, and Dennis Smith Jr., especially Ntilikina and Knox, I'm concerned with. We did not draft Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. came in the trade with for Kristaps Porzingis. And we won that trade based on using the cap space. Remember, we traded Porzingis and we created cap space by getting rid of Hardaway. We traded Hardaway and his contract away. We traded a couple of other guys, including Trey Burke. And there was another big contract. I forgot who it was. Courtney Lee. And that's what got us the cap space to go out and sign Julius Randle. And Julius Randle is now going to become an all-star. Based on that, we won the trade, but not based on the personnel we got back from the trade, because Dennis Smith Jr. has not, again, he's not in the lineup. He's not in the 10-man rotation. He just asked to go to the G League. He's a smart kid. That's a smart move. Whoever's guiding him is a smart move because he can get reps. And that's how actually Trey Burke came to the Knicks, because he was in Dennis Smith Jr.'s position, having been drafted in the lottery, having been cut loose by a team or two, and then went to the G League, balled out in the G League, and then the Knicks called him up and he balled out for the Knicks, so much so that many of us was expecting Trey Burke to be the starting point guard, that year after he came to the Knicks. Of course, he wasn't. He started a couple games, but he never panned out, so now he's in Dallas, and he's playing good down there. But that's a smart move. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is going to ball out in the G League, and then he'll go to another team. Frank and Kevin have been handled badly from the beginning. Okay, from the beginning. Okay, number one. Number two, even if you're in the Frank hive, which I am, or you're in the Frank hate group, which I don't care, but either way, I think both groups agree, if these two guys don't work out, we wasted 2 lottery picks. Right? I think everybody would agree with that. No matter how, if whatever work happens, if these two guys don't end up working out on the Knicks, we just wasted 2 lottery picks. Okay? And I don't like the sound of that at all. Okay? So what I'm thinking, to me, and I'm in the Frank hive, look, you better trade him now. Trade him. I don't say you're going to trade Knox, because Knox is in his 3rd year. You got him locked up next year. Let's see what he got. You got to give him 4 years. But this is Frank's 4th year. He's going to be either restricted or unrestricted, depending on the qualifying offer, free agent this year. If you just wanted to walk away for nothing, okay. But I'm saying he was a lottery pick. You better get something for him. Okay. And if I'm Frank's people, I'm asking for a trade. I'm asking for a trade. If I'm representing Frank Ntilikina and I'm healthy and I'm getting DMPs, I'm asking for a trade. This is the 4th year of this bullcrap. So I'm asking for a trade. Trade me. Okay. So, and trade me to a place where I have a chance to play. That's what I would do if I'm Frank's people. So I'm looking for a trade deadline deal for Frank. If they've given up on Kevin Knox, I don't know. I can see teams wanting both of these guys. Kevin Knox, for the very least, that he signed through next year, and whoever gets him can play him next year on his rookie deal and see what they got. And for Frank, because not everybody is a hater like the Knicks fans in front of Frank Ntilikina. Some of us understand that he's a tremendous defensive player, and there's teams out there that will take that. Okay, that will take that. All right, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm expecting a trade for Frank by the deadline, and possibly Knox. I don't know, because if I'm their reps, then, and Knox, both of them, tremendous citizens in terms of locker room. They had Knox on, and the reporters in New York with their stupid questions was trying their best to trip this kid up. He stayed cool. He told the company line. He was not complaining at all. Neither does Frank. So you got 2 good locker room guys right there. But if I'm their people, who's going to let me play? First off, okay? So that's that. I'm concerned that they're going to re-sign Elfrid Payton next year. I'm concerned about that. It's bad enough Tibbs is tripping on this kid that he's like, all of a sudden he's Magic Johnson and we got to start him every game and play him 35 minutes. Okay? Even if we won the game. This is problems. So I'm concerned that they're going to re-sign him. I don't know, but, and look, I've already shown y'all, and IQ, the NBA is recognizing Emmanuel quickly. The whole league knows this kid is good. He's still not starting. What you think? Cade Cunningham gonna come in here and start? No. No. That's what I'm saying. What you think? Suggs gonna come in here and stop? Nope. No. Because next year, you're gonna have all of these cats. RJ Barrett's gonna start, obviously. Now, next year, you might have, if Tibbs got any sense, quickly gonna start next year. So what you gonna do with the point guard? Okay? So, and they drafted Obi Toppin, a 4. They have Julius Randle, a 4. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work out. But anyway, it is what it is. It's another situation where you have veterans stealing minutes from players we're trying to develop. And this has been the situation for since they fired Woodson. After Woodson, you've always had veterans stealing minutes from youth and stopping development. Okay, and we got it now. The same thing. The 2 youth that we're getting development for is Robinson and Barrett. And then, of course, we could say IQ because he's getting minutes every game, though they're not consistent. I would say IQ, Barrett, and Robinson are the ones getting development reps. Other than that, So anyway, that's why I'm feeling frustrated, even though we won the game. And then I'm looking at the box score. When you're playing good team ball, winning team ball, generally, you're going to have 5 players in double figures. Look at it. Look at Utah. Look at Miami. Look at San Antonio. Look at these teams. Look at Boston. Generally, you're going to have 5 players in double. Even the Lakers, you're going to have 5 players in double figures. Last night, the Knicks won the game. Okay? They didn't win the game. 3 players in double figures. You got Randle, Payton, and Barrett. And only 19 assists. This is all right for now. It's not going to fly long term. It's just not going to fly. Okay? It's not. Even on the Lakers, where they got AD and LeBron, you be seeing 5 cats get double figures. Okay? You be seeing 5 cats get double figures when they win games. That's a typical thing. Okay? The ball moves. So, I'm being patient with that part because, again, I'm expecting 31 wins. I'm still sticking with that. Also, we have to establish ourselves defensively. And I'm good with that. I understand that. So this is the year to establish ourselves defensively. Okay. But then even that's a problem on a back-to-back. The first game of back-to-back, we come after it defensively, usually. And then the second game, we always just step slow. Okay. So again, 31 wins. I'm still sticking with that. That's not 500. That's a little below 500. And that's about what we're playing. And the thing that's frustrating to me is half of it is how things are being handled. It's not because we don't have the talent. It's how things are being handled. That's half of it. But then again, I should not be surprised. Like I said, Tibbs is what he is. He's not changing. He does the same hard practices. He does the same 10-man rotation. He plays the 5 men till they drop. That's what he does. Okay? No problem. We know what, it's not like we didn't know what we were getting when we hired him. It is what it is. There's no need to be talking about, we should have hired blah, blah, or blah. We don't have them. We got Thibodeau. And I don't want to fire him. I want him here for 5 years. Okay? Gotta have some continuity somewhere. Okay? So there you go. But it's just frustrating to watch. Okay? So anyway, we got Portland coming up on Saturday at 1 p.m. Okay? I'm thinking we're going to, today's Thursday. They got Thursday, and they got tomorrow. So they got two days of practice and preparation for Melo and them, for Dame Dollar and them on Saturday. I'm thinking we should be okay. We should be in a good position to play a good game. This is the key thing here. Again, we know this, but I got to keep reminding myself. The Knicks need to learn how to play 48 minutes of good basketball. Yesterday, they played 3/4 of good basketball. That's what I'm saying. We won the game, but there's some concerns, man. They played 3/4 of good basketball. They did not play 4/4 of good basketball. Okay? They played 3. And I'm giving them 3. They started off strong. They punched Chicago in the mouth. But Chicago's a lottery team, man. We supposed to do that to them. They're a lottery team. Okay? They're not going nowhere. What's their record? Chicago's 8-12. They're not going nowhere. Okay? They got a lot of youth. They got a good coach. They're going to develop nicely. I like the way, I'm very high on Patrick Williams. As you know, that Florida State kid's going to be a player, man. There's no question about it. And I think Billy Donovan understands that because he's starting. Okay? So they're going to be good. But this year, they're a lottery team. Okay? So we need to smack them for 48 minutes. You cannot play 3 quarters against a playoff team and win. We could do that against Chicago and win. But I want to see 4 quarters of good basketball. Okay? I think Tibbs agrees with that. Okay? We may not agree with Tibbs on starting Elfrid Payton and stuff like that, and DNP and Knox and Frank. I don't agree with that, but it is what it is. But I think he would agree that we need to play 48 minutes of good basketball. Not 36, not 24, not 12, 48. And so we're playing Portland on Saturday. Let's hope that our Knicks are prepared. I think they'll be rested. And let's hope they're prepared to play 48 minutes of tough, grinded out, rebound defense, New York basketball. Okay. Let's hope that Elfrid Payton decides to be aggressive and go to the basket like he did against Chicago. Let's hope. That's all we can do is hope anyway. Okay. But here we go. And then we got a back-to-back. I forgot who they play on Sunday. Dad, who they play Sunday? They play, who they play on Sunday? Shoot. The last night, man, I was glad they punched him in the mouth, but at the same time, I was like, yo, man, we're supposed to do that against these scrubs, man. We gotta be ready to play some playoff teams. But then again, like I said, as the season progresses, I'm hoping and I still believe the Knicks will get better as the season progresses. I'm believing they're going to get better just because they're trying to improve every day, so on and so forth. But at the same time, I can see limitations on that based on the personnel. That's the problem I'm having. Based on the personnel that they throwing, the guys they trotting out there, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. How they going to get better when they got journeymen that ain't going to get better playing heavy minutes. Peyton is not going to become anything more than he is. That's what he is. He's not going to become anything more. Yesterday he was at his best. I don't think it's realistic for us to expect him to play at his best at that level every game. Like Peyton doing what he did yesterday is like RJ scoring 38. You don't expect him to do that every game. Okay? That's not him. Well, that's what I'm saying. And that's at his best against Chicago. Oh, man, we got back-to-back Portland on Saturday, Miami on Sunday, and then we got Miami again at Miami 2 days later. This is no joke, man. So, anywho, is what it is. That's my take for today. Please stay safe. Blessings on you. Shalom.